Hi comic book fans, and welcome to another SundayComics.com video. Today I am going to show you what I call an accidental collection. This means it was a set of comics that I did not set off to collect, but accidentally I have collected them. I probably had, I'm going to tell you the title, well, you've probably seen the title. It's Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos. Okay, which, you know, I don't really collect war comics and not on my list of comics to collect. However, I probably did have 7 or 8 of them in my collection just because they'd been in various auction lots that I'd won. And then at the beginning of 2024, I had somebody come up to me at the London Comic Mart who offered me a Sergeant Fury's Howling Commandos #1. Well, that's a pretty key issue. I mean, it's one of the original Marvel Silver Age #1s. And I told him I don't collect this, but I'll buy it off you to resell it, so I'll only offer you half fair market value. Anyway, I made him an offer, he ummed and ahed a bit, I offered him a bit more, and he accepted. And I think I paid around about what I thought was half fair market value. So I got it, and then I didn't get around to doing anything with it, and a couple of months later an auction came up and there was some more Sergeant Fury Howling Commandos at a really cheap price. And I thought, I think it was sort of issues, really early issues, 2 to 10 or something like that. And I bought them, and then that was it. So now I am collecting. I've decided to hold it at issue 50. So the first 50 issues of Sergeant Fury and Howling Commandos is now something I collect. Okay, so let's show you #1. So this is Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos #1 from May 1963. So to put this into perspective against other stuff, we got Fantastic Four in 61. We got Amazing Spider-Man in 62. I think Hulk 1 came out in 62 as well. This comes out in May 63, and Avengers #1 comes out after this. Of course, we've also got Journey into Mystery with Thor, which comes out before this. But this is, you know, one of the #1 issues with a new character for the Silver Age. This guy didn't appear in the Golden Age. Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos. The character himself, of course, Nick Fury, goes on to become an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and we get a separate series with him starting in 1968 with Nick Fury, agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., where he moves from being in the military to being a sort of head of S.H.I.E.L.D., a sort of spy agency. So a character with a lot of legacy, has also appeared in many of the Marvel films. So yeah, a major character for Marvel, and I think if you compare the prices of the Sergeant Fury Howling Commandos to the other Silver Age comics of a similar age, they are heavily, much cheaper. So if you want to get into collecting a really good Silver Age classic Marvel series, this is a good one if you're on a budget. Okay, now the cover here is by Jack Kirby, but significantly inked by Dick Ayers. Now I say that because for the first sort of 8 issues it's Kirby with Ayers doing the inking. After that we get a mixture of Kirby and Ayers. So Ayers does take over the bit of the penciling work from Kirby from issue 8, and they sort of switch around a bit. And then from about issue 25, 26, Kirby disappears and it's all Dick Ayers. Occasionally we get a guest penciler, but that continues to be Dick Ayers. Now this series here, the 1963 series, runs to issue 120 in 1974, and then almost immediately reboots with a consecutive number and it runs up to issue 167 and finishes in 1981. So we're talking about a major series here with a lot of stuff. There are quite a few reprints after about issue 79, 80. There are a number of reprints, mostly of Dick Ayres issues. So I'm only going to collect the first 50 or so. Yeah, start off with the writer is Stan Lee. Stan Lee does the writing for I think the first 20 odd issues. Roy Thomas takes over and he does about 20 odd issues, and then Gary Friedrich takes over. So got a nice combination of sort of Marvel stalwarts looking after this title. Here we have issue number 2, again a really nice Jack Kirby cover. This is a key as well, because it is the second appearance of Sergeant Fury, Sergeant Nick Fury. Some of the other members of the Howling Commandos, of course, this is their first appearance here. So this character here is Dum Dum Duggan. There is also a character in here called Gabe Jones, who is the first black recurring character in the sort of post Fantastic Four #1. So Gabe Jones. Now interestingly, Stan Lee's reports on this issue, because of printing error, Gabe Jones's skin colour is the same as everybody else's in here. In this issue here, issue 2, you can see Gabe has gained some colour, although it's not very natural looking colour. So yeah, first recurring black character, Gabe Jones, in a Marvel series post Fantastic Four #1. So we this is also, you know, this is basically a World War II type story. A lot of adventures in World War II. Eventually it does move on to the Vietnam War. Nick Fury has an interesting history. So for instance, his best mate, they are both on, they're both around for the Pearl Harbor bombing by the Japanese, and Nick's best friend, I think he's called Happy Sam, gets killed there. Also, Nick finds himself in London and has a love interest in London, but she gets killed in the London bombings. So poor old Nick, a pretty sad history with his friends and his girlfriend. Here we go. This is he also carries out missions for the British Army, and one of his early missions, he rescues some British scientist, and Winston Churchill makes him makes the unit an honorary British unit, which is where the Commandos comes from. There we go. So here we have Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos issue 3. Issue 4, you'll see I've got a nice little run of these. Issue 4. And these are not in bad condition. These are not in bad condition at all. Ah, here we go. We get the introduction of Baron Strucker here. A major Marvel villain, Baron Strucker. I think from the pages of Captain America. That was issue 5. And issue 6. Issue 7. The Court Martial of Sergeant Fury. Really nice covers here. These so far all been Jack Kirby. Now I think issue 8 is actually Dick Ayres. I think so. Here we go. And now we sort of get a swap between Dick Ayres and Jack Kirby for the next number of issues. So some of them are Ayres. This one is Dick Ayres, number 9. It says Dick Ayres on it. And we've got a Hitler cover. Number 9, that is Adolf Hitler there, I believe. And that is a Dick Ayres cover. issue number 10, on to Okinawa. Right, I've then got a gap. So I've got 1 to 10. I have not got 11 to 19. So I am looking at, so during 2025, one of the things that I am going to be looking for, so on my list of comics for 2025, Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos, number 11 to 19. Now I'm hoping I'm going to be able to pick those up all in one lot, a lot at some time during 2025. Fingers crossed. However, I have got issue 20. Issues 20, and again, I think I picked these up in this up as a bunch in an auction lot. Issues 20 to 30, so that's 21. I actually think I had an option to buy issues 11 to 20, and I think it went beyond my price. I think if I'd realised, I probably would have bought them. Issue number 22. These are a combination of pence and cent copies. This lot all appears to be pence. The first lot was all cents. Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos. This needs a new bag. It's in fairly rough condition. That's the lowest grade one I think we've had so far. Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos, number 25. Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos, number 26. And we've got a Dum Dum Duggan cover. Dum Dum does it the hard way. Number 27. Fury fights alone. Ah, right. This is a key issue. This has got the origin of the eye patch. So this is the origin of Nick Fury's eye patch in issue 27. Trapped in Hitler's Reichland. Yeah. And from here on in, I don't think we get any more Kirby. I think it's all Dick Ayers from now on. This is issue 28, and I think this is a key as well. I think this tells the origin of Sergeant Fury in issue 28. Right, 29, Armageddon. 30, Surrendered. So there we go. I've got I've got 20 to 30. I've got 1 to 10 and 20 to 30. And I have that annoying gap. I've also got 31, 32, A Traitor in Our Midst, and the skiing. It's a skiing cover. 32, 33, The Grandeur That Was Greece. And as I say, these comics here, we're talking, all Silver Age here. So this is about 1963, probably through to 1967, 68. So it's key Silver Age stuff. But these, by the time we get to these sort of issues here, 33, you can pick these up in pretty decent grade at not a huge amount of money. Whereas if you compare what you pay for a Spider-Man or a Thor or even a Daredevil, these are relatively cheap to pick up. So I think if you're on a budget and you want to pick up a classic Silver Age series, I do recommend Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos. Maybe maybe the war comics will come back into fashion. I do believe that James Gunn is making a Sergeant Rock film as we speak. So who knows? We've had a resurgence on horror. Maybe we will get a resurgence on war comics as well. Who knows? Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos, number 38. Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos, number 39. Now, of course, the great war comic artist is actually Joe Kubert. And I do prefer Joe Kubert over at DC, doing weird war tales, and the various war comics, Sergeant Rock and the various war comics at DC. I do prefer Joe Kubert to Dick Ayers, but Dick Ayers is doing a pretty good job here. These are not bad at all. Number 40, we're there. I've got 41, 42, 43. You'll see I've done a, oh, this is a nice cover. Scourge of the Sahara. 44, The Howler's First Mission in issue 44. These are all Pence issues. I must have got them. Oh, here we go. I just said that, and this one's a sentence issue. Number 45. Number 48. I love this cover. The block-busting Blitz Squad is back. A nice yellow cover with Sergeant Fury on one side and the Blitz Squad on the other side. That's number 48. Number 49. Oh, where's 50 gone? Oh, I haven't got 50. I need to get issue 50. I have got a very low grade copy of 51. Right, so there we go. I do have a couple of others. These are just random ones that I probably had previously. Howling Commandos, number 60. I don't intend to deliberately collect beyond issue 50. There is issue 64. And we've got a crossover with Captain Savage, and we've got a peace symbol on the cover, so I quite like that one. I've got number 79. These are just random ones I've picked up over the years. Number 107. So this is moving further and further out. 120, and I think this is the last one of the first series. Now, I'm not quite sure what causes it to go from series 1 to series 2. I don't think there was much of a gap. Series 1 ended in 71, 72. Series 3 begins in 73. So series 2 begins in 73. So there's not much of a gap, and it does pick up the numbering. I've got 128. 132. I don't intend to do the whole run. I'm just going to try and fill that gap on 1 to 50. I've got about 10 missing from number 1 to 50. Number 163. The cover art now has gone a bit poor. Not keen on that. I don't think that's Dick Ayers. Right, then I have got 2 copies. So one of the in my attic collection that I've had for years, I had a very low grade copy of Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos, annual number 1 from 1965. Okay, now this is really interesting because it's one of only a handful of comics that have got 1 shilling and 6pence price point, and it's from this particular year. It's from 1965. The annuals from 1965 have this 1 shilling 6pence price point, and I think they're the only ones that have that price point. I might be wrong, but I think so. And I've got a number of the annuals from 1965. There is a niche collecting. That's a really geeky thing, isn't it? I'm going to collect all the Marvel comics with a UK price of 1 shilling 6pence. Am I going to make a list of them? Probably not. Right, and I also have a really nice copy of Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos Annual 1, and I can't remember where on earth I got that from. It will probably have come in one of the auctions with the other stuff that I got. There you go. That is my accidental Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos collection. I also do have the first, I think the first something like 10 issues of Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. And the reason I've got them is because I love the Steranko covers on those. I'll show those at another time. Right, that is your lot. I hope you've enjoyed my Howling Commandos. See ya again soon.